It's the Racing Post Weekend Football Postcast. Bruce Millington, James Milton, Joe Champion and Paddy Powers, Ed Quigley. Looking ahead to 2 live televised Premier League games on Sunday, starting at 1:30. I don't think this is the one that's going to get the highest viewing figures. 4 o'clock, we've got Liverpool v Arsenal. 1:30, we've got West Brom versus Stoke. So you're kind of thinking dour. You think it's going to be a bit of a rumbustious affair. Not that many goals, maybe. One might edge it, but we'll see whether the lads have got any great bets. And first of all, we'll get the prices from Ed Quigley.
Yeah, so it's West Brom are 7-5, the draw is 21-10, and Stoke are 9-4.
This is a tricky one, Joe Champion, isn't it?
It is, yeah. I don't think any of us will be expecting too many goals in this, but I looked through it. The last 10 meetings, I think only 2 of the 10 have featured more than 2 goals. So it's no surprise that it's priced up at 1 to 2, that there's under 2.5 goals in this game. So, the match betting looks about right as well. 7 to 5. West Brom is, factoring the home advantage, seems about on the money. So staying with goals, I think you can expect it to come later in the game, really. So, Paddy Powers' time of first goal, 34 minutes. That seems like a decent mark. Maybe should be a little bit higher. 7 to 5 as well. So that's a decent enough price. The only worry is that they don't score after that. So
well, yeah, that's the trouble, isn't it? I suppose if you get to the 34-minute mark, you can then have a little save on 0-0, can't you?
Yeah.
Good. I like your thinking there. James, what have you got for us on this one?
I'm actually quite sweet on West Brom in this one. As Joe says, I don't think anyone's expecting a festival of flowing football. But West Brom were so strong at home against the weaker teams last season. Won 7 of 10 against teams below them. Including a 1-0 win over Stoke. They've had 1-0 victories at Bournemouth and Burnley, obviously, this season. So that kind of correct scoreline leaps out at you, 1-0 West Brom. And Stoke, they scored 17 in 19 away games last season, lost 1-0 at Everton, mugged Arsenal, frankly, with 23% of possession in that game. And they're not going to find the baggies quite such a soft touch as Arsenal. So I quite like West Brom just in the match betting. And if you're having a correct score, then it's got to be 1-0, I think.
What are you thinking, Ed?
Yeah, I agree with James. I think West Brom price looks pretty big as well myself. I think both teams have acquired well defensively. This year, Higazi's started off pretty well for West Brom, and you've Kurt Zouma, who looks a decent loan signing from Chelsea, and you've the return of Bruno Martins-Indy as well for Stoke. So yeah, defensively they're both pretty sound. But at the prices, I definitely fancy West Brom. Look, I don't think it'll be a cracker at all. I think we'd all testify to that. But West Brom scored 2 and they haven't conceded yet. So I was looking at West Brom to win and 1 or 2 goals in the match at 3-1. That looks a decent bet to me. And also, I give Jay Rodriguez a shout as well at 9-2 for first goal scorer. He starts up top on his own, but he's so far anyway this season. And he's starting to look like the striker of 2014, and he scored as well during the week during Carabao Cup. So he should be buzzing.
So if the 1:30 game is dour, the 4 o'clock game should be a real cracker, shouldn't it? Liverpool versus Arsenal. How are you betting now, Ed Quigley?
Yeah, it's Liverpool 11-10. The draw is 13-5, and Arsenal are 23-10.
Stick with you, Ed. What's going to happen?
Yeah, well, Sanchez looks like he might start for the first time this season. Well, that's what Wenger was saying this morning anyway. Coutinho more than likely won't play again. I fancy Liverpool here. I think we've mentioned it a few times in this podcast historically anyway. Just Liverpool teams that come at them or attack them essentially. It actually suits Liverpool better. And I just think they both look vulnerable defensively. So it'd be Liverpool for me. And I'd probably go with Liverpool and both teams to score, seeing Liverpool are quite vulnerable as well at the back, or they very much looked that way last night as well. So Liverpool and both teams score at 5-2. Also, Firmino's got 3 and 4 against Arsenal, and he can be back to any time at 7-4 as well.
Do you think he's put on a bit of weight, Firmino, over the summer, chaps? He just looks a little
Maybe he's bulked up.
Yeah, well, yeah, he certainly. Yeah, I mean, he just looks, a little bit Mickey Quinn to me. James, what do you fancy in this one?
Yeah, I think Liverpool at odds against is a very tempting price, really. I mean, they were outstanding against the big teams last season, unbeaten against the top 8. They beat Tottenham, Manchester City and Arsenal at Anfield. And as Ed says, I think Arsenal will just play into Liverpool's hands, really. Liverpool play the way Arsenal are trying to, but they've just got more pace and quality going forward. I mean, they played in midweek, but effectively had that tie wrapped up after 20 minutes. So I don't think that'll be...
Still running around like blue-ass flies. I mean, they just don't know how to play at a slow tempo, do they, Liverpool? It's Whirlwind.
And yeah, I just think that their forward players will be the difference. I mean, Arsenal, as we've already seen this season, it's the same old story. They concede soft goals. They don't take their chances. Other than that, it's great.
I think you're being too pessimistic. I think the Arsenal defence is better than the Liverpool defence. I think the Liverpool defence is absolutely pathetic, and I think Arsenal are going to win this. So there. What do you think, Joe?
No, I agree with James and Ed. I was looking not only at Liverpool's great record against teams in the top 7, but also Arsenal's poor away record against teams in the top 7. I think last season they lost 5 and drew with Man United. So, I don't want to get too down on Arsenal. They play well.
Everyone else does. Don't feel guilty about it, mate.
Well, we all like to beat Arsenal up, but when they're on song, they're brilliant.
I've got no idea. Honestly, I'm going to have a little rant here. The way the media and everyone on social media has a go, if you compare the two teams, Liverpool and Arsenal, to me, there's nothing much between them at all. And yet Arsenal, every time they get a bad result, they get absolutely slaughtered and Wenger gets annihilated. Liverpool can do no wrong in the eyes of the media, and I don't think it's fair. And I hope that Arsenal, I tell you what, if they go there and win, I will love it. Anyway,
I think it's gone on too long at Arsenal, though. No.
Well, I disagree. I just disagree. I think
James would probably be best placed to answer this.
No, he's not, because he's an Arsenal fan and they're biased. But, Klopp never gets criticised. Wenger always gets criticised. It does my head in.
I must say, Klopp's image is like this happy-go-lucky. Some of his behaviour on the touchline is appalling, actually. I really
goads people, doesn't he?
Don't like that.
Totally agree. Anyway, sorry. So what are we going? What's the bet, Joe?
Liverpool to win and both teams to score. I think the way they opened up Hoffenheim last night as well was very impressive. Hoffenheim are a hard team to break down as well. I mean, they had to chase the game, but still they absolutely annihilated them going forward. So I'll go for that.
OK, you've got 2 professional football tipsters and a professional football odds compiler going for Liverpool very strongly, or a mug going for Arsenal. You take your choices there. Anything else on Sunday that you like, James?
No, nothing.
OK, Joe?
Not particularly, no.
Ed, anything for you on Sunday?
No, nothing for me really either, yeah.
Oh, glad I asked that. Right, OK, don't forget we are back next Thursday with another Racing Post football postcast. Do, if you like us, go on to iTunes, subscribe, review, and whatever else you do on iTunes. And we'll be back next week.
Check out Paddy Power's new and exclusive Cash Card Plus, available to use online, at ATMs, or even down the local. Paddy Power, you beauty!